One has to ask, are we about to see a major event involving planes soon? You are now within minutes of horror, and your only chances of survival is hitting that like button. With that being said, let's continue on with the video. So every time I bring up the news to find something to talk about, to find something to discuss that's going on in the world, I always find articles about one mode of transportation. Not only do we have multiple news stories in a matter of months of people seeing non-human entities on planes, ghost demons and MFers, but we're also seeing pilots just out of the blue drop dead from heart attacks. Last week alone, we had 3 pilots on major airlines drop dead from heart attacks. We had 2 pilots from India back-to-back have fatal heart attacks. And then we had this pilot from Miami to Chile die of a heart attack in the bathroom of the airplane. So planes are really a hot topic lately. There's nothing about cruises, about buses, about trains. It's all about planes, and you have to ask yourself why. Even the Malaysian Flight 370 has made its rounds in the news and media lately. Not only back in March was there a new Netflix documentary, MH370, the plane that disappeared, but also people are bringing back old footage from 2014 of perhaps the flight being taken in a portal by 3 UFOs. Now, whether this is real or fake, it was largely swept under the rug when it was released and forgotten about, but for some reason we are talking about it again. And I initially assumed this is because of all the UFO disclosures that's recently going on, that this could play a part in Project Bluebeam. But now I'm wondering, are we seeing predictive programming from the news and media? Because every day they are reporting about close calls and almost major disasters when it comes to airplanes from major airlines. The article just released yesterday says the close call moment when an American Airlines pilot had to abruptly yank the plane up 700 feet to avoid colliding with a United flight mid-air. Now, when it comes to planes, 700 feet is very, very close, and this investigation took place in July, so this happened last month, but we did not hear about it until yesterday. For the incident involving the American and United flights, the Times reported an air traffic controller had directed the United flight to go dangerously close to the American Airlines plane by mistake. A collision warning alarm went off in the cockpit of the American plane, an Airbus A321. Now get this, and this is the very chilling part. The investigation found collision close calls were happening several times a week in the United States, far more than what was publicly known. The report raised concerns about the American airline industry, which has a reputation for being safe. One air traffic controller told the outlet it is only a matter of time before something catastrophic happens, really putting in our head that something is about to happen. The last major airplane disaster in the United States was in 2009. Colgan Air Flight 3407 crashed while flying from Newark to Buffalo, ending the life of all 49 people on board. The NTSB investigation declared it to be pilot error, citing pilot fatigue as a factor. And yet, funny enough, like I said, we are seeing a lot of news about pilots being in bad health lately. Now, the last major disaster happened over 10 years ago, so one would think it's very safe to fly in the United States, but recently we are learning that it is not. It was found out and reported that this one incident was one of several close call collision incidents that occurred this summer of 2003 alone that involved major US airlines. Now, the FAA defines a near midair collision as when an aircraft comes within 500 feet of each other, or when a report is received from a pilot or flight crew member stating that a collision hazard existed between 2 or more aircraft. So while this incident did not have the required feet to be considered a near midair collision, a report still went off, meaning, by definition, it was still considered a near midair collision. Now, like I said, this was not the only close call collision that took place. Just this month alone, a JetBlue plane nearly collided with a charter jet on a runway, and a photo from the cockpit shows just how close the encounter was. A charter pilot was cited for taking off without clearance, leading to a near collision with a JetBlue plane. Now, remember what I said, that they want us to keep in our mind that these pilots are not healthy. When the investigation was taking place, the pilot of the charter plane told the NTSB he was not feeling completely well and he had a stuffed nose. The pilot stated, "I cannot understand what happened to me during clearance. In my mind, I was clear for takeoff." Now, oddly enough, and like I said, I do not believe in coincidences, there was a similar incident to this incident that took place in February of 2023. A FedEx aircraft aborted landing to avoid a Southwest Airlines passenger jet that was mistakenly cleared for the same runway. But unlike that last incident where the charter pilot thought he was the only one clear for takeoff, both of these planes were mistakenly cleared at the same time on the runway at Austin Bergstrom International Airport. But let's go back to August, because it seems like we are getting a lot of close calls in August alone. On August 12th, U.S. agencies investigate close call between Southwest plane and a Cessna. This near mid-air collision was closer than anyone reported so far. A person briefed on the matter said, the initial review shows the Cessna passed over the top of the Southwest airline plane by only just 100 feet. Now remember what I said previously, you have to be about 500 feet to be considered a near mid-air collision, and this plane was only 100 feet from total disaster. A few days ago, a passenger on a Southwest airline plane took video footage how the engine of this plane caught on fire. Flames and thick white smoke spewed from the engine of a Southwest Airlines flight from Houston to Cancun. Now, just a couple hours ago, big media has reported that airline close calls are happening far more often than previously known. Once again, putting the idea in our head that planes are not safe, even though we have always heard that flying is the safest way to travel, and the United States airplanes are renowned for their safety. But yet, funny enough, this year, they are not. We have not heard this much news on planes in 2022 or 2021. Now, there are a lot of people that are saying something big is going to happen in September. There's a lot of predictive programming involving that month and the days, the 22nd and the 23rd. There was a lot of predictive programming in media involving September 2001. And so a lot of people are seeing this same pattern involving September 22nd and 23rd in the media as well. I actually did make a video showing how often the numbers 923 and 922 shows up in our media, so if you would like to see that video, I will post the link in the comment section below. Now, I don't want to scare anybody, but at the end of the day, I am a horror channel. I am Minutes of Horror, so if I haven't scared you, then I have failed. But with being scared does come with some knowledge. You have to do your own research. There is a pattern here. This is not a coincidence. There is a reason why we are seeing a lot of plane stories in the news lately, and none of it is good. But in any case, what do you think? I do want to hear from you. Do you believe that this is all just a coincidence? That now the United States Airlines are the unsafest way to travel? Or do you happen to believe this is predictive programming at play here? Once again, I do want to hear from you. Please comment in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you do like this channel and you want to see more, please subscribe. If you're already subscribed, please like, as any engagement does help the channel grow. Once again, thank you so much for your support.